everybody, welcome back to MBE. It is Sunday night, so that means it's this week at MBE. So we have a lot of billet manifold artwork going on. We got a bunch of manifolds that are getting mocked up and everything. So you can see lots of billet stuff here. I will say, I'm really proud of all our guys that were making these manifolds and how perfect they turn out and the power difference. So it's a little bit of both. So designing this stuff, the first ones we ever did, is extremely difficult, and the guys are just doing a great job. Joey, Scott, Bob, Ian, just everybody's doing a great job on all of this. These are very difficult to make. So, and then we're also doing cast versions of the A460 for the guys that got to run a cast manifold. So, but we only sell those cast manifolds for our cylinder heads, for our trick flows. So that's what we got here. So let's go. We got the A460 right here. So you can see we make these plates. So these bolt to the cylinder head, and then the valley tray mounts to these plates. So it's real clean looking. It's all O-ringed, and a lot of design went into this. And truthfully, we have 5 or 6 of us involved in all of this to try and make it as clean as possible. And I think the biggest thing with all of this is to not over-engineer it. As humans, we tend to over-engineer everything. So simplistic is always better. So that's that. So one thing nice about it is not only does it make a bunch more power, the A460 guys really don't have an excellent manifold choice. Now they do. You got something that'll make power. You can see it's not huge, so this stuff works great for truck pulling, drag racing. You got short runners, big plenum, and then of course you put a 1-inch tapered spacer on it, and then you have something. So, and then we'll go over to the big 9. You can see they got this mocked up. So this is a 10.7 deck, 10.600 deck for a big 9. So all clean. You can see even the spacers. When we'll glue these spacers on, it'll look like it's just part of the manifold. So very clean. So everything's perfect on that. You can see this is how they come off the machine. They're all deburred, and because they come off the machine, everyone makes the same power because every manifold is identical. And of course, we went over this. Each one of these halves starts off, it's 123 pounds. When each half is finished, they're 8.5 pounds. So we have hundreds of pounds of waste between these two halves. Okay, and very similar on the A. You can see it's smaller. The A manifold starts off at about 100 pounds, and the weight is very similar to the big 9. I think this is 16 pounds or 15. So each half is about 7.5 pounds. And then we have A460s over here. Some of these guys are getting the cast version because with the rules they have to run the cast. They have to run the cast manifold. So this is our A460 program. So a lot of valve area, 2,500 valve. These things do extremely well with the 485 and the 500-inch class for the truck pulling or the drag race guys. It's excellent. So you can see when we design it, it has a very small chamber in it. And the reason why we want to do that was we want to make everything efficient, so you don't have to run a huge dome on the piston, so you have better flame travel, and then making more power. So there's a lot of thought that goes into this. We don't only think about the cylinder head, we think what's underneath the cylinder head too, meaning the short block, and putting all that together so we have something that works typically or hopefully better than anyone else. That's the goal here. And then let's go back here, Mr. Biggs. Guys made a run of spacer plates this week. So we ran some big 9 spacer plates. These are 1/2-inch ones here. And then we have thinner ones here. The reason why we just keep these in inventory so we can just keep going. And not have to wait around. We got our blown alcohol stuff here. So we got 1 set in inventory. And then more big 9 stuff up there. We got 10.2s, 9.8s. We got manifolds for 10.7. We got manifolds for 9.6. So we go the whole range of whatever you need with the big 9. These Big 9 manifolds work awesome with Pro Chargers with an elbow. They work much, much better than the typical manifold that people do. It's just, yeah, much, much better. And then come over here. Well, this happens to be this is a bar for the 18-degree max pull. That's the rocker bar itself. No individual pedestals. We just had this out. We were mocking some stuff up. But extremely rigid. We want it to be rigid. Yeah, so truck pull guys. 10,000 RPM, over 1-inch lift. We have your answer. And then we now, for the max pull 18s, we have rockers from Jessel and T&D we can do, so that's not an issue. And then we have some 4 or 500 billet heads here. This is our 4 or 500 billet. So you got something that flows about 500 CFM. It's a real number. And these are going on a power adder, so this is going to be pretty cool right here. It'll have the same billet manifold or billet valve covers that we put on everything else. It'll just be a little bit bigger because this head's longer than the 400 bore space. We have a set of 18s here, 18-degree small block Chevys that kind of we just brought back to life. I would have to guess, no, these heads are from 1996, so that is 20, what is that? 28 years.
Yeah.
Shit, these are 28 years old. All right, so we brought these back from death. I guess the customer wanted to redo it. So we put all new copper beryllium seats in it. You can see the different colors. This is A25 material copper beryllium. This is A3. They're very subtle differences between the two. The A3 will dissipate the heat more, and the A25 works better with an intake valve, so that's why we use the two different materials. Not brass. So these are, so it's gonna have a nice set of heads when they're finished. They'll be able to go another 28 years. So those are done there. And then we got a set of heads here we're doing for I always get that thing. Steve
Morris.
For Steve Morris, and this is Tom Hammond stuff, so we're updating all of this for them. We're updating the manifold, the cylinder heads. We'll do a video on that, kind of go through what the flow characteristics are different. We're changing the exhaust port, we're changing the intake port, and we're making the manifold so it can run a little bit higher, put some plenum volume in it, shorten the runner, so we're working on all of that. We should have all that stuff finished. I think all this stuff will be finished in about 10 days. So I think Ian was going to start on that on Monday. And then of course we have the billet manifold with this is the Big 9 stuff that we spoke about. Here's the valley tray. These are all stainless fasteners, so when it's on your race car, they're not going to rust. And then these are I think that's cadmium coated. I believe that's what that is. And that's what holds the valley tray on. So very clean, very nice. And then of course the billet intake. So this job's just about finished, so that stuff will get shipped this week. And then let's see what we got back here. Biggs, I didn't even go back here and look. All right, so we have billet truck pull heads there for the Hemis. So that's the Brad Anderson platform. Arguably the most successful drag racing engine platform ever, I think. I don't think anybody did it better than Brad Anderson, truthfully. To stand the test of time, I think that's pretty amazing. I believe he's between 40 and 50 years, that same platform, and that's still the go-to what a lot of people use. So pretty amazing. But when you have somebody like Brad Anderson is just buku smart. Very, very smart. So we got this customer right here. They have to run a spec cylinder head, so he sent the heads here to be valve jobbed on the Epoch. So you can see there's only so much we can do with the spec stuff. You know, always remember spec is a 4-letter word because it sucks. But anyways, we helped this customer out. Just this set here to be serviced. They'll probably get the small valve spring package and everything on it, because this will be an endurance application for a boat. We've done a lot of those for this, and it's been working very, very well with that small inch 310 spring that we speak of. These are a set that are here for service and update. So this would be a set of Sonny Leonard cylinder heads, the late Sonny Leonard. A great man that we're certainly missed. Sonny was certainly a friend of us. Even though we were competitors, I'd say Sonny and I really hit it off pretty good. He's a pretty class guy, and we certainly miss him. And then we have just a set of big nines to be serviced. So you can see they're already been valve jobbed. So this is a used set of heads, but you can't tell that they're used. I mean, that's fresh. And when they come back here, they'll look like a brand new set of heads. And then everything will last, because they'll go back on the epoch, and just everything's set like this will last forever as long as they come back here all the time. And the flow coefficient will not change. So it's just one less thing to worry about for the engine builders. We got a blower intake right here for the big 9. Indy cylinder head makes this. It fits ours really good. It fits the cylinder head. It's really nice. So this stuff we're finishing up too. So this is a Roots blower, 14 to 71, big 9. That's going to be a badass piece right there, because that should run right with the Brad Anderson stuff that we do. It should run right with it. I think it'll run better personally, but we'll see. We will see. Time will tell. And that's it. That's this week at MBE. Thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great week.